Go.
Welcome back. I wanted to show you some simple techniques using materials at home but not necessarily greens to do the centerpiece. And one of the safest materials to use, because since we have burning candles, is to use foil. And this is a real easy material to manipulate so the kids can do it. And the first thing you do is get your materials. So you need foil, newspaper, tape, permanent pens if you want to do it in color. This centerpiece has no color except for the added doodads. So if they want to do color, it's real simple if you have these things. And you need a scissors. So I'm going to start off. This is approximately 15 to 16 inches of foil. And the first thing I'm going to show you is how to make one of these roses here. So you take the foil, fold it in half, and on the folded side, you want to fold a 1 inch fold this way. And that's because you want to reinforce the place that you're going to gather the foil up. The foil is kind of fragile, and it actually will tear very easily, so that's why we're doubling it. And then the ends, you want it to be finished, so you want to fold it over this way also. You can, at this point, decide what color you want to make your flower. So I'm going to take a purple one. And it doesn't really, you can actually color it very sloppily. So, but the other thing is, because this is a permanent pen, the surface that you're working on should be protected. So one piece of paper may not be enough, or you can get newspaper, or you can get a magazine and put it underneath, and put your foil down, and just color. The best markers to use are the wide tip markers. I got a set like this from one of the discount stores, and it was just $2.25. You can also go to a stationery store and just buy the colors that you want to use. You don't have to buy a whole set. So most of the children have permanent markers somewhere, or actually maybe you don't want them to have permanent markers. And just color this whole thing real quick. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole thing. But anyway, stay on the paper, not on the tablecloth. Okay. Then you're going to gather the bottom like this and sort of roll it as you gather this way. And then you're going to work with this edge here and start turning it out and making the flower bloom for you. Okay? Just squish it down this way. If you don't fold it on the half folded side, the flower will have a really hard time opening up. That's why we use the cut edge to do the flower this way. Okay. So that was real simple. I'll show you something a little more complicated. So if you have your piece ready and you fold it, I'm going to fold mine into 6 petals this way, and take your scissors, and you can cut, if you're going to do a poinsettia, you want pointed petals. If you want to do this type of flower, you're going to cut a round petal. And you're going to open it up. You need to be careful when you open it up, because as you're cutting, it tends to seal the edge off. So you have to carefully open it, otherwise it might tear your petals apart. Like this. See how it sticks? You kind of have to be careful and open it up without tearing it. Okay? Just like this. And the same thing again. You take a marker and you can color the foil. You can even color it directionally. So you can just be sloppy and do it. But if you want to be more purposeful, you can do it like a leaf has veins, you know, this way. Okay. And the same technique. I'm going to gather it up and try and go. You see me moving in a curve this way. So you can curve it and finish up that way. So you can make a poinsettia like this. So I'm going to show you now how to do these accents here. I forget what they're called. These are anthers, you know. Stamens, that's the name of it. Stamens, okay? So you take a piece of foil, a small piece of foil, and I actually started with a plain one first, and you get some newspaper. Here's my little ball. Or anything, paper towel, Kleenex. Roll it in your hand. And you wonder, why don't I just use the foil? It's because I'm Chinese and I'm trying to save the foil. So everybody has newspaper. So you can use the newspaper. And try to use the shiny side out because it'll reflect more light. So I'm going to put the ball in the piece of foil. I'm going to cover it and crumple it up to add more bulk to the top. I'm going to fold in the sides. I'm going to pinch the top and shape it into a ball. And I'm going to take the rest of the foil and make a stem like this. Okay. Then I'm going to take the colored, well, let's take this one instead. Take the foil and color it with whatever color you want the center stamens to be. And then same thing, put it in and cover the top, covering the little ball, and then fold it in. See, I didn't color all the way to the edge because I don't need to, because it's all going to get folded in. Same thing with the other side. Just keep folding it in so that only the yellow shows. This way. There's my stamen. And you can even twist it if you want to. Okay? So that's my stamen that I'm going to use for the center of my flower. So you can do all kinds of stuff with the foil. Now, how do you make a leaf? The leaf is even simpler. You're going to take a piece of foil, kind of a narrow piece, depending on the size of the leaf you want. I'm going to fold in both sides. One side, the second side, okay? And then I'm going to color it with the permanent marker. And then I'm going to cut it in half this way. Then I'm going to try to shape it. So I'm going to try and make a leaf like this. Fold in the edge. Keep folding and turning this way. I'm going to go on the other side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold in the edge and shape it at the same time. So we're going to try and make a little boat. Okay, so it looks like this. And then I'm going to close this side because that's where you're going to attach it to your base. And then I'm going to run my finger down here so that it creates this little boat leaf. Okay, just like that. So you can make a whole bunch of them like here. See these plain ones? You can make them bigger and smaller. You can change the shape also. Like for example, you could just cut it into a pointed one that's like this. This is a little bigger leaf, and just fold a little bit. The reason why I fold the edge is to reinforce it, because the foil tends to kind of tear. See, so here's a bigger flower. And I'm going to shape it with my finger. Okay. Just like that. So there you have it. You have leaves, you have flowers, your stamens. You can do this. If you want the flower to be bigger, you just put more foil. You take out more foil. And then most of you have done this in, I don't know, somewhere in elementary school, everybody learns to fold a fan. So the fan here, I use the folded edge because with the fan, sometimes when you're opening this, it kind of tries to tear. And this one you want some reinforcement. So I start in the middle and just fold back and forth. And you can color it. The other thing is, you can put more than one color when you're doing this, so that you have a different look to your fan. If you don't get these wide markers, it will take you forever using a pointy marker. And you cannot use watercolor markers, okay? It has to be permanent pen. It won't stay, and those watercolor markers will just smear all over your hands when you try to do this. You can even do rainbows. I know the kids like to do rainbows. So I'm gonna fold this and show you how it looks. I'm just doing a quick fold, that's why I'm doing it this way, just so that you can see that effect. See that? That's kind of nice if you put this behind. Okay? So, that's it. The other thing is you can do cutouts from your cereal boxes or your candy boxes or cookie boxes and cover them with foil, and you can color it. Color the foil that's on here. So that's another alternative you can do. So I'm sure you can come up with great ideas on your own using foil. And you can do like this one, I did this really crazy stem on it. That's kind of fun to do. So anyway, have fun guys and be creative. Alright, thanks for stopping by.